When you meet Annie Leibovitz for the first time, you cannot help but be knocked over, if not slightly intimidated by her presence. She is tall, she carries herself with assurance. You sometimes have a feeling that if you don't do the right thing, she'll get mad at you. And she carries this into her professional work.
Annie's a genius in the true sense of, of letting go of everything for whatever she's working for at the time. And, these are things that go with the territory. It's like she would never do anything to hurt somebody intentionally, ever. But, in the moment, things happen. In the moment, there's things that you say that you can't be taken back, that you can regret later, that you can apologize for later.
She's very intense on the set. People dancing around her, and she throws the cameras. They have to catch her. To be an assistant of Annie Leibovitz, you have to be a circus virtuoso with a very and very patient and very inventive, because she's very demanding and she's very tough on people. You could see that.
I never found that her difficulty was something that wasn't always 100% worth it. And very often the difficulty was just about her determination to get the absolute right thing. And her commitment was to her vision, period. And if you didn't want to buy into it, tough, it was just too bad. So she could obviously lay about her and get quite angry.
She knows she's tough. She's the first one to admit she's tough, but she's really passionate about what she does, and she wants to do a good job. She has always tried her best on every single shoot that I've done with her. There's never a question that it's not gonna come back perfect. Never a question. I mean, sometimes the person's a little more difficult than you want them to be, or they don't look as good as you want them to be, but her ethic is what gets you the cover that you need. Think about it. You have to go do a shoot of somebody. You better deliver a good cover, right? That's a lot of pressure. And you don't see that on Annie, because that's the last thing on her mind. She knows she's going to get it. But think about that. Your job is to deliver a cover to a magazine. And imagine coming back without it. It's never happened. Never happened. Now that's something, in 21 years that I've been working with her, has never happened.
She was relentless and just, to a point where sometimes it would be shocking, but it was incredible because she would ultimately get, and over the years, me working with other photographers, seeing, and what's the single most, what's the difference? Why does Annie get what she wants? It's because she will not stop until she gets what she wants. And I've seen it from so many people, so many other photographers wanting it, and intention is there, from the beginning, and walk away without the shot.
I've seen, how tough she can be, and then how immediately, overly conscientious, and, and truly, I've watched Annie torture herself throughout just one day, throughout the process of, wanting things to be perfect, and you can only look at somebody and have appreciation for the desire to make something as good as they possibly can be.
So this nervous, awkward photographer shows up, namely Annie Leibovitz, who's too tall, all gawky, and and I don't, she fumbles around, and I don't know what I'm doing, all this stuff, and so sooner or later you're just working overtime trying to please her. Is it real, or is it Memorex? I don't know.
Shy is the word, but sort of girlish in a way that's probably making her writhe as I say that. But, it's kind of great because she's so super famous and sort of imposing physically and, fabulous looking. And she gets a little like, if you don't mind, would you please do this? Like, play, of course. If I don't want to do it, I'll tell you that.
And then you get into it, and then she would be like an Alabama tick. She would not get, you can't get rid of her. She would just be dug into you, and she would photograph, and she would photograph until she has all of the shots that you wanted and much more. And, in the end, you just say to yourself, when you see the photographs, you say, hey, weren't we lucky that we stayed and we took all the photographs? We said, look how beautiful the photographs are, And it's always fun with her. And it's also not like this is good for her. She's doing it because it's good in general. Not for it's good for us, it's good for everybody. It's good for the magazine, it's good for the readers. What she does, it's not a kind of a selfish thing that she makes people do things because, she wants to shine. That's the last thing she's interested in.
At the end of it, you feel like you've given birth, that you've really accomplished something. I just think her standards are so high and her sense of perfectionism, and to find, the perfect rocky beach on the entire eastern seaboard, no matter that it's 3 degrees and you have to, travel 100 hours to get there, it doesn't matter. Nothing is too hard for her.
There's a certain image of Annie being somebody very strong and brash, and but there's so many other facets that show somebody much more complex, much more subtle, but I think generosity, humility, that's real, it's not faked, and loyalty. I mean, it's amazing how the people she's known for so long are still her friends for the most part.
It's a little intimidating to have your picture taken by one of the world's great photographers, so I was just happy to see what a terrific person she was. We just hit it off, and she fit in with my staff. Everybody just loved being with her. She was just a joy to be with.
If I call Annie, she's the first one to agree to help out. And she will also bring other people on board. So she's really serving the community in a very, very generous way. She's actively interested, actively participating, and very generous with her time and spirit. She's a good citizen.